Those in New York may have noticed that dead fish are turning up in large numbers along the Hudson River. According to an environmental group that monitors the waterway, the unrelenting summer heat and climate change could be to blame. High temperatures can overheat the water, decreasing oxygen in the river for aquatic life. And if you've been noticing a lot of gloves and masks on the street lately, well, you're certainly not alone. But that's not all. Plastic production across the country is poised to dramatically expand, and it's from a type of factory that you probably haven't even heard of before. The debate now is whether all that plastic is a good or bad thing. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee explains in this week's It's Not Too Late.
I'm Ginger Zee, and it's not too late. Here are a few of the environmental headlines that you might have missed this week. I feel like I show flooding video like that almost every day on GMA. 3 to 5 inches, it's flash flood emergency. Flood warning through Indiana, Ohio, into North Carolina. And thanks to a new study, we now know that these videos are telling a hidden story. 14.6 million homes and businesses are at risk of severe flooding. You can see all the neighborhoods highlighted there. That's almost twice as many as FEMA originally thought. The other map here. The group that did this study added sea level rise, rainfall, and flooding in smaller creeks to their equations. Now, from floods in the U.S. to extreme heat in Siberia, on June 20th, Verkhoyansk, Russia, reported a preliminary all-time record high of 100 degrees. The Arctic is among the fastest warming regions in the world, heating at twice the global average. And now the topic that you need to know more about this week: ethane crackers. I know, it sounds like a terrible twist on a tasty snack, but instead of the snack itself, an ethane cracker is an industrial plant, and it helps make the packaging that you might find your snack in. The plastic packaging that you might break into after, I don't know, you throw your gloves and mask in the parking lot at the grocery store, or on a sidewalk, or in the street, or even in a planter. I mean, I'm glad you're wearing the mask, but my goodness, who does this? I'm gonna get to explaining more about those ethane crackers and what you need to know, but am I the only one seeing a lot of this litter these days? It wasn't really a rhetorical question. I actually already asked you, and then you answered. From your pictures, California, Texas, New Jersey, all of it tells me that COVID litter is everywhere. The French nonprofit operation Merprop has already found gloves and masks in the Mediterranean Sea. One of their Facebook posts from the group says they worry that they will eventually have more gloves than jellyfish.
That one mask probably represents hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of microplastic particles when it all gets broken down.
That was Dr. Mark Benfield. He studies microplastics and has a new study on COVID waste.
In Crown Heights, 170 gloves per hectare.
Wow. That's 416 gloves on every block in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And he said that almost every single one of those gloves is going to wash into storm drains and then into the ocean. Now, medical professionals should and absolutely need disposable PPE, but this ABC study shows that you don't. Not only are the reusable masks better for the environment, but in this study, a folded fabric mask kept those COVID droplets closer to the face, closer and better than the cone version that was bought at the store. And how about gloves? World consumption of vinyl gloves is estimated to jump more than 11% to 330 billion pieces this year.
The sad reality is 9 million metric tons of plastic enter the ocean every year. And scientists tell us that unless we change the way we use plastic, within the decade, for every 3 pounds of fish in the ocean, there will be 1 pound of plastic.
And now the U.S. is planning to make even more plastic because we are building ethane crackers. Told you I'd get back to it. An ethane cracker is an industrial plant that takes ethane, it's a gas, and then cracks the gas molecules into the basic compounds that make up plastic. The American Chemistry Council says that 343 new plastic production plants and expansions are currently permitted or planned in the United States. Globally, in the next 5 years, the rate of plastic production has been projected to increase by 1/3. In 5 years. And then by 2050, it is expected to triple. That is a lot of plastic.
So how, when we all see pictures of the oceans full of plastic, how do we say making more plastic is a good thing?
Well, plastics, as we talked about, provide important benefits to society. Lightweighting our cars, packaging our food, keeping it safe for society. But we need to keep it out of the environment.
Many of the proposed plants are in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania, like Royal Dutch Shell's new facility 25 miles northwest of Pittsburgh. It's a spot that President Trump recently visited.
Powerful, clean, natural gas.
In the ACC report, they say that the Appalachian petrochemical industry is going to create more than 68,000 direct and indirect jobs by 2025. And plastic, they say, is a better alternative for shipping than glass.
We can't go back to alternative materials. The alternatives, in the case of packaging, would double greenhouse gas emissions.
Environmentalists don't think that the benefits outweigh the other risks.
This is the petrochemical industry trying to save the fossil fuel industry. And states like Pennsylvania, shockingly, are subsidizing this.
We looked it up. The state of Pennsylvania created up to $1.6 billion in tax incentives for ethane cracker facilities like the one in Monica, Pennsylvania. The requirement, at least 2,500 construction jobs.
There have been studies done on these new facilities. They're modern, state-of-the-art facilities. They are lower impact than others built in other parts of the world.
So I keep trying to say to myself, somebody's gonna make the plastic, so it might as well be us, right? Better if we had real control over how it was disposed of, reducing shipping, growing local, even if that growth is in plastic. But we'd have to do it that way, and we'd have to do it well, and it would actually have to be recycled.
The plastic recycling rate is an anemic 8% nationwide. My greatest fear is that a number of these ethane cracker facilities are built, locking us into more fossil fuel use and more chemical use. These ethane cracker facilities, almost always proposed in low-income communities of color, need not to be constructed. The good news is that we don't encounter plastic pollution deniers like the way we encounter climate deniers. I think this is an issue that people really care about, and it's something that they can do at the local level.
Here's the simplest truth of this story. Nobody wants plastic in the ocean. France is looking to increase littering fines to combat COVID pollution. The European Commission already pressing on with its single-use plastics ban despite pressures from lobbyists. And in Australia, they came up with a really simple one and ask for all of us, or anyone who can, to go plastic-free in July. Or just do a week in July. Give it up, they say, and be a part of the solution to plastic pollution. I'm Ginger Zee, and I promise it's not too late.
Got to find those recycle bins for the gloves and the masks and not just scatter them on the streets. Our thanks to Ginger Zee for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.